After our visit to the Burr at Collado de Lesba, it was time to hit the N621 again. This time we was heading for Riano. We had planned to overnight in Riano originally, but had changed our minds and opted for another night in Picos instead. We liked the town, and besides, if we stayed in Riano, we would have to come back through Picos the following day en route to our next destination, which didn't really make much sense at all. We had looked at Riano when researching our trip though, and it was somewhere we wanted to visit, so we're going to check it out now. As I've already mentioned, the road surface so far had been fantastic, but if you look closely, you will see that it isn't always the case. The state of the roads seems to differ between each autonomous community, with Cantabria seemingly investing more on their infrastructure than the others. One thing that doesn't change though is the scenery, which is constantly surrounded by the beauty of Mother Nature. Riano is a small town with a population of around 500 people. It's located on the Esla River in the province of Leon, near the foothills of the Picos de Europa. The old town of Riano was submerged as part of the dam and reservoir project in the 1980s, and all its residents were relocated to New Riano, which was built as a replacement higher above the reservoir waters. After lunch and a fuel stop, we headed off back into the Picos. Rather than ride the same road back, we thought we'd try a different route. We turned off the N621 onto the LE243. It didn't take long for us to realise this was a road not often frequented. Well, that's how it appeared anyway. The road surface wasn't in great condition, but the scenery was on point once more. You may notice a chap in a car telling us to slow down. We had no idea why. Surely no speed traps on this road. We was about to have some serious, let's say, bowel movements.
Oh shit.
Well, that wasn't scary, was it? With our hearts firmly in our mouths, the contents of my guts trying to free themselves, we pushed on. For some reason the sat-nav kept telling us to turn round, but we continued forward, ignoring it, hoping to force it to choose a new route. Sat-nav never did stop telling us to turn round, and we never took any notice of it. I'm not sure if we ignored it due to the fact we was really enjoying the ride, or if it was because we knew if we did turn round that we would probably encounter the herd of bulls again. We ended up at a crossroads that gave us three options: left, right or turn round. We opted for right, and we was to be well rewarded. We was heading for a town right in the heart of the Picos mountains called Cain. The road features on the website rating the world's most dangerous roads. Yes, it was narrow at times with overhanging rocks, but I'd never felt in any danger at all. Cain was small and quaint, with its narrow cobbled roads giving it a feeling of a town from way back when. It felt like we were totally cut off from the rest of the world. The surrounding mountains added to the feeling of seclusion. Life here must be blissfully simple. There didn't seem to be much going on, but a quick look around suggested it was a popular place for hiking. We checked out Google Maps and there was 3 roads out. The one we came in on and 2 others that were eventual dead ends, so we only had one option. I hope them bulls have gone. On the way back, yes, we came across the bulls again, but this time they had remembered the Green Cross code and got off the road. We then encountered 1 or 2 others. Again, the adrenaline was pumping and I considered leaving Chris there, turning round and getting the hell out of there. The farmer, however, assured us we would be okay. Don't get me wrong, I love animals, but my preference is for them to be smaller than me. After 2 nights in Picos, it's time to move on. We've used this little town as a bit of a base really for the first 2 nights. The first night it was just off the boat and straight here, stay overnight, and then off playing in the Picos mountains yesterday, which was brilliant. The roads are fantastic. The weather was really good as well. I highly recommend doing that if you're ever in Spain. But we decided to stay in Picos for an extra night, but we're going to push on now. We're heading to a place called Burgos or something like that, to a place called Sad Hill Cemetery. All will be revealed later on in the video. See you down there, guys. Oh, by the way, if you are going to ride the Picos, don't be stressing over which roads to ride, because as we found out yesterday, just go, ride, and everywhere it'll be enjoyable. The roads are good, the scenery is fantastic wherever you go, so don't be stressing out over doing the end this or the end that. Just get out there and enjoy it. That would be my advice. We wasn't actually heading for Burgos. Our destination was about an hour further, in a town called Santo Domingo de Silos. We was heading for Sad Hill Cemetery. It was to be a long but again enjoyable ride as we left the Picos behind and headed through the natural park of Fuente Carriones and Fuente Cova Montana Palantina. The roads were very twisty and also very challenging.
That's where we come from. Burgos.
Somewhere along this stretch of road I was to have another encounter with an animal, perhaps the scariest one yet. He was doing about 60 miles an hour and I noticed something at the side of the road. Our eyes met and it decided to drop its kill and run. It had acres and acres of field to run and hide in, but it decided to run across the road in front of me. I touched my front brake just enough to avoid running straight over its back. instead just clipping its backside with my front wheel. Thankfully, neither of us was hurt and the creature returned to pick up its dinner. After a bit of research later on, it appears that I encountered a European wildcat, a stunning looking animal. Town called Sassamon. Every town that we go to, there doesn't seem to be any people about, like ghost towns. Very nice though. This one's got a bit of a castle thing in the middle of it. Not quite sure what it is. Looks pretty cool though. We were getting closer to our destination, Sad Hill Cemetery. The clues were in the landscape. We knew we wasn't far, but it was proving difficult to find. The cemetery was situated between two towns, Santo Domingo de Silos and Contreras, but there was a whole lot of nothing between them. If you're ever looking for it yourself, then head to Santo Domingo de Silos and look out for very small signs pointing its direction. The struggle to find the place though just added to the excitement and the anticipation. The road to the cemetery was made up of loose gravel and stone. It took about 25 minutes to ride it, but felt much longer, especially in the heat. We were being made to work for this one. After a long, warm ride, we are finally at Sad Hill Cemetery. For the movie buffs amongst us, you will know that is where they filmed the final scenes of The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. So we're going to go and have a nosy about around there. It's actually just on the outskirts of a town called Santo Domingo de Silo, and it's accessible by a very rough track that we've followed for a good half an hour. It's pretty heavy going. I don't think there was any easier route in, but we've got here. We're just going to go and have a look around now. After filming, the place was just left to become overgrown, and then I think it was some local people decided to return it to its former glory. There's a website explaining everything, and I'll just put the web address right about there so you can have a look for yourselves. You can see why they chose this location. It's red hot, and if you look behind me over there, you know, you could imagine, you know, that this place was in where the film was actually set. It's just got that look to it, and I tell you what, it's absolutely boiling, but it's worth the trip. It's worth all the hassle of coming down the dirt track. It's an adventure after all, isn't it?